If you're a small business owner, you know the feeling all too well of being pulled in 100 directions at once. Sometimes it's helpful to simplify and pick just a few areas to focus on that will have the most powerful effect on your business. In this video, I'll give my favorite 5 tips for small business owners that can be implemented today. Stay to the end for the secret to making them all work. The first tip, and you probably heard this before, is that you need to be crystal clear on your ideal client. I know this shows up in a lot of business training, and maybe you've done this exercise before, but I'm always inviting clients to do it again because your ideal client evolves over time. Just like you evolve over time, your business evolves and grows over time, and so does your ideal client. And one of the easiest ways to think about this is to think about your favorite client. So just take a moment. Who is your favorite client? Who do you love working with, and why? Is it because they're easy to work with? Is it because they see you as the expert? Is it because they're very coachable? Even if you're not in the world of coaching, are they very coachable in terms of how they receive your ideas and your expertise? Do they pay you on time? Do they refer other clients to you? As you dig in, you'll see that you already have an ideal client profile when you pull from your favorite client. It's one of my favorite exercises because it almost gives you crystal clarity on who that is. But the next question is it possible then to only work with ideal clients? Like what if all of your clients were like your favorite client? What happens for most people when I say that is they say, well, that's not possible. There's not enough of my favorite clients out in the world. And what I want you to know is that's a lie. That's not true. 8 billion people on the planet. I know that there's enough favorite clients for you out there. What's important to do is just make a decision. Make a decision that you're only going to work with ideal clients. And when you do that, it does mean you start to say no to more clients who aren't a good fit. But there's something powerful about saying no that creates space for those ideal clients to show up. So while it's painful, it can happen. I think of one of our clients who had built packages that allowed her to be underpriced. We've all been there, right? And it kept her company so small, and she was still working with clients who weren't ideal. What we knew about her, she was super smart, super talented, very accomplished in what she delivered, the service that she delivered, and we knew she could be charging a lot more. So it took some time to unravel this, and we said, look, just start charging more for your ideal clients, and then over time, these other clients will kind of fall to the wayside. And she's like, but what if they don't? Like, what if I lose them and I don't have any more? Like, we went through this whole thing. Once she raised her prices and sold a package at the new price, she was blown away when someone paid her at what she was really worth. And over time, it became really easy to renegotiate with her current clients. And what she realized is that some of those current clients went away and some of them stayed and paid the new pricing, which they should have been paying all along, and they probably knew that. So that's how powerful this first tip is. When you're clear on your ideal client, you know exactly who they are. You start to say no to clients who aren't a good fit. You increase your prices, and over time, you start to love your company again. So as I mentioned before, make sure you stick around for tip number 5 because that one is super important. The second tip I want to share is the importance of creating your next level monthly revenue goal with a model month template. What is that? We call it a model month template, but it's a very simple Excel spreadsheet that shows exactly how much revenue you're going to bring in per month and what you have to sell to get there. So it's a breakdown to look at that. But it's the next level of your company. For most of our clients, that's a 2x, right? So if you've been at $10,000 a month, you want to be at $20,000 a month. And the model month template breaks down how many packages, products, how many things you need to sell to get to $20,000 a month and what that would look like. The second you do this, right, the second you create a model month template, very quickly you start to realize that there's things that need to change. Maybe you need to change your packages. Maybe you need to change your pricing. It illuminates and shines a light on what's been keeping you stuck. And often what's been keeping you stuck are some blind spots, some things you weren't thinking about, right? When you're just going along with your same pricing and your same packages, you kind of stagnate. But when you create a new model month template, you start to see pretty clearly what you need to do to change to get to the next level. Oh, and by the way, you have to check out the other videos on my channel about revenue models, marketing, sales, and much more. And remember, subscribe so you don't miss any of them. The third tip I want to share with you is, and we touched on this already, but you need to clarify your pricing and your packages. Now, this can be tricky. And when I work with new clients and I know they need to up-level their pricing, and I tell them that, or it becomes clear after they do the model month template, I sense resistance pretty quickly, right? There's this belief or this feeling that if I raise my prices, no one's going to buy. Often, especially with women business owners, I find that most of them probably need to double or triple their prices just to be in alignment with what they're delivering, to be in alignment with the quality, to be in alignment with the return on investment that they're creating for their clients. So if you feel stuck on pricing, I feel you. And here's another tip within a tip. The easiest way to come up with new pricing is to take a look at your package, right? Whatever it is. So you made a package and maybe you're charging $1,000 for it right now, but there's a part of you that knows that you should be charging a lot more. And so you can ask yourself, what's the least and the most I would charge for this? Now the least is maybe $1,000. It's maybe what you're charging right now, but maybe the most is like $5,000. Like there's a part of you that's just like, I know there are people who are doing this and they're charging $5,000 or they're charging $10,000, right? You get that, you know what that is. And so you choose that higher price and you're like, okay, maybe it's $5,000 is the most I would charge right now. And that price point, that higher price point is the price point that you know you would feel like a rock star delivering it, right? You'd show up ready, you'd be excited about delivering this, you'd be like, yeah, let's go, right? That's the high price point. Now, most people can't make the leap immediately to that price point. Some can, but not everybody. And so what you want to do then is find a number in between. Here's kind of the lowest I would charge and here's the most. What's the number in between that feels still in alignment with you, but it's believable at some level? Like, okay, maybe it's $3,500 right now, right? Like I really could see myself charging that. Okay, go with that price, but keep that $5,000 in the back of your head, knowing that that's where you're going. See what I did there, right? Like you still can work to that next level. The fourth tip I want to share with you that can really help you succeed as a small business owner is to make sure that you have 3 ways you are marketing consistently every month. The key word is consistently. One of the mistakes I see small business owners making is trying a marketing concept for a little while, but if it's not working, they don't take the time to fine tune it. They're not tracking the data. They're not really sure why it's not working. And if you don't know why it's not working, maybe there is a way that it could work for you. So whatever that is, whatever marketing methods you're using, make sure you're tracking so you can see what's working and what's not working. But you want to make sure you have 3 ways that you're marketing consistently. And that could be maybe networking. Maybe networking is one of the ways that you're marketing and you do it consistently. You go to the same groups every month and business comes in. Maybe another thing you do is speaking, right? Maybe you stand on stages, you give free presentations or you get paid to speak and you do that consistently. It brings in new clients. Maybe you do webinars and again, you do it consistently. So the key here, the point that I want to make is find the 3 ways to market consistently and don't stop. In the comments below, let me know a marketing channel that has worked well for you. I'd love to hear about it. The 5th tip for small business owners that I'd love to share and that I want to share with you is to make sure that you're having sales conversations that convert. If you are someone that is still having sales conversations, and probably many of you are, the question to ask is, are those conversations converting into sales? And if they're not, I want you to dissect that conversation a little bit. Years ago, I wrote a book called Selling with Intention. And selling with intention is really about serving your client at the highest level or serving your prospective client at the highest level so that they can make a decision, right? They can make a decision of whether or not they want to work with you, whether or not what you have can support them. The easiest way to have sales conversations that convert is to be asking open-ended questions about their challenges and about their goals, right? I want to understand their pain. You want to understand their pain. What are their struggles? What are they challenged with? And then you also want to understand where they want to go. And what's the delta in between? What's the bridge in between? There's a lot of other videos on my channel about how to have sales conversations, so make sure you find those as well. But just, in short, the idea is to walk someone over the bridge by asking these open-ended questions. And by asking the open-ended questions, that helps them figure out if you truly can solve their problem or meet a need. And if you can, it makes it an easy yes for them. So now you have the 5 tips. Once you're following those 5 tips, then it's important to shift your limiting beliefs and stories about why this won't work for you, right? Like a lot of times we read things or we get insights and we think, oh my gosh, but that works for other people, or I can't have sales conversations. And so I want to invite you to really challenge those limiting beliefs, challenge those negative stories that you've made up that tell you that this won't work for you as well, or that you can't have a successful business, because the truth is you can. Next up, 5 secrets to grow your business. And remember, your 2X is waiting for you too.